I'm Charlotte, and this is Paulo, and we're the Escovels, and we have 2 kids, 2 girls, ages 11 and 8, and our 2 dogs here. And I've lived in San Diego for 20 years, and Paul and I have been married almost that long. We started looking for a house because we had lived in that house for a long time, and a lot of our friends were moving, and we thought the interest rates were low, and we thought it would be a great opportunity to move at that point in time. So, but we actually really weren't actively looking. I ran into Melissa and John at an open house, and I really liked them, and so I decided to take a chance and see what they could tell me, and so it just all evolved from there. I wasn't supposed to be at that open house that day. My friend randomly called me up and said, you should go and look at this house because they remodeled it the way you've been talking about remodeling the house that you live in right now. And so I went and looked at it, and I saw what they were asking for, and it made me start thinking that I could possibly put my house on the market as well. And so it was very serendipitous the way everything evolved.
Pretty blown away, honestly, because we had talked about it before, and then we had kind of settled down, but it was our first home. So we lived a little bit longer than we thought. We fell in love with it and so forth. The kids growing there, so you could say we really grow attached to the homes. I guess kind of like cars, right? So we love our home. And when we had okay, well, let's remodel and so forth. And she's like, so we can, I can live here a little longer. And she went, like she said, she went over there just to look at the remodeling and see what they had. And yeah, she came back. She goes, wow, I've met these great couple and feel really comfortable with what they have going on. And I was like, what? Okay, so now you're thinking about selling the house? I'm like, what are they? I almost feel like they gave her some weird Kool-Aid or something, right? Like, what's going on? And then, yeah, I met them, and I'm like, all right, I can see what's going on. And, I'm liking what we hear and all the stuff that we're looking at, and it made sense.
It was extremely seamless because we were only working with one set of agents. And so I hadn't done a lot of research, but mostly I got a great feeling of authenticity from John and Melissa, and they really emit a very trustworthy vibe, basically. And so, and I felt like we kind of had some things in common. And so it made it really easy doing both processes at the same time with the same agents. And also they understood thoroughly what was happening on both ends. So that really worked out.
Yeah, I agree with that. Honestly, when I met them, because that's what I was, okay, wow, what happening? Like I said, it was like, now you're selling the house, we just met these people. And I could see what she was saying. I work in a restaurant. I've been working with people for a long time, and a lot of it has to do with reading people, like when we're hired and all that, and I felt that too as well. And it was legit, so I'm just gonna roll with the ball, see what's going on, and everything I heard was amazing. I was really, everything was so easy, honestly. It was like online, you just go look at this house. They're always really open about looking at houses that we found, even though they might not be be in our range or the type of home we were looking for. It's almost like she knew kind of what we wanted, honestly, but she was never negative about it. She's like, sure, let's go check it out. And then after, it'd be like, oh yeah, because when we found this house, right when we walked in, I was like, oh, this is it. It had everything that we had asked. And you could see she was really excited, they were looking at it, I was like, this is it, right? Because I was the first one to show up, and I just saw, okay, this is what she wanted, that walk-in closet right on the side for her stuff, the doors are amazing, beautiful, fireplace, and then I ended up having that pool outside and extra area for me to grow out, I want to put a little garden outside and room for the dogs to play. And yeah, it was amazing. They helped us to facilitate and make sure we made it in here, and as well as the other people. So if it wasn't for all that, working that extra mile, we wouldn't have made it in here, honestly. So yeah, we really got to thank him for that as well.
I know, I think that the negotiation of both deals really worked out in our favor, and that's one of the talents and skills that both of them have is the skill of being able to negotiate. And I also was really impressed with their knowledge base. I felt like they were very comprehensive in what they know how to do, and as far as knowing when you go into a home, as far as the infrastructure, what to look for, things that I would definitely have overlooked, or if we were with some less experienced agents, that would not have been a good situation, because here I was, I didn't have a lot of knowledge myself, and I hadn't taken the time to research because we kind of just impulsively jumped into this, took a leap of faith and a gamble and jumped into it. But so it's great that they understood that aspect, as well as how to negotiate for the best price for everything, that kind of thing. And that communication was amazing. I really appreciate that John and Melissa use texting and email and DocuSign and everything that's the most expedient, most efficient way to do things. And they were very communicative and did things in a very efficient and timely manner.
You know, speaking of the technology too, I know that the way they did everything on the web, it really made a difference. Because for us to sell, you know, who has time to go through every little, you know, and with all the videos and where you could feel you're walking into the house and, you know, doing all that, it's amazing. You know, I mean, I was blown away. I really didn't see any of that. I didn't hear any of that before, so it was all new to me. And like she was saying, it was very nerve-wracking. It's a huge, you know, huge sale. I mean, like the little bit of difference is a lot of money. So that was the other thing too. You know, I was nervous about that. They had some experience with a house that had been, you know, either remodeled and so forth. So that was a huge like amount of knowledge that helped us to, hey, you know, these people might have done, because it really honestly, they had a lot of things they did to this house that we wouldn't have noticed. That was it would increase the value of the house by a lot, you know. And the things that I was concerned about, I was like, okay, with the negotiation later, I was like, you know, you're nervous about that. And John mentioned it, she's really tough with the negotiation. You know, he was right. I think she's super nice. I never saw that coming. And man, we got everything we wanted, you know. It was great. It was great.
And there's really no comparison when we talk to our friends. We haven't, and they've talked about their agents. I feel like ours blow theirs out of the water. And yeah, and
they're always frustrated, right? And like getting
just all the little details
and trying to get information and being approachable. You know, like something like, oh, okay, they made us feel like we're the only ones. You know, it wasn't like, okay, what do you want now? You know, it's like
that's not easy to do.
You know, and when are we gonna get together and what's going on? You know, and I'm really happy for you guys. And it was always super positive. You know, I think Charlotte would call her just to talk to her. It's so funny. I was like, I know she's busy. Maybe you shouldn't call her so much. But you know, she never showed any negative about it. So we're really happy. We definitely found new friends. You know, and that was the main thing about it.
Well, I think I mostly communicated with Melissa, and she, there were times when I was starting to get cold feet, and I could tell that she was incredibly patient about that. Like, she knew what to expect. She knew how emotions run high when people are doing transactions such as this. So she never let on that she was irritated or annoyed with me. She, you know, could foresee that was going to happen, and so it made me realize, you know, not only do you have to be a great business person, but you have to have the emotional intelligence and the social skills, and you have to, you know, kind of, it's almost, you know, there's a therapeutic aspect to it. You kind of have to be like a therapist in the sense that you have to deal with the highs and lows of people's emotions in these situations and be able to steer them through it, and just be patient and not, you know, not show any irritation about, you know, the flip-flopping or that kind of thing.
That was huge, honestly. That's what made me feel too very at peace with it, because, you know, I would be at home with her talking about this, but she would be like, okay, well, let's go look, or whatever she wanted, she would go with her. And it'd be like, oh, she came back all happy again. Yeah, that's the good house, we're happy. I went and saw that one, but it wasn't it. She was right, that was the one. like she called it buyer's remorse, right? And it was like, wow, she was right. And I was like, that's exactly what happened. Because as soon as we went back to the house, it's almost like she just let us go through the process again. We went and got to see this house, like, oh wait, we do, actually maybe this is the house. And then as soon as we went back to this house again, we were like, oh yeah, this is the one, we're not messing with this. It was just because we were already doing the signing, just like she mentioned, the buyer's remorse. We even had friends that came with us and they said the same thing. They went to that house, came to this one, the same day with it. It was insane, that was it, meant to be.
Another great thing is that since I hadn't originally been planning on buying a house during July and August, I had all these vacations planned, and so I was out of town several times during that 8-week period, and we were able to keep the communication going and keep the process going, and she did a video walkthrough, a FaceTime walkthrough with my husband, so I could see this house when I was out of town. That was great, and I really liked the way that they marketed our house and did the 3-day or 4-day open house using social media, and then followed up with each of those potential clients and found out, what did they like about the house, what they did not like. So that was great information.
Effortless, yeah, that was, and the thing too, like you're mentioning, to me, I felt all the little details, when we were getting the house ready, they were always, every day they were there, with us. It's like, wow. I mean, I thought they would just come in and check, like, hey, what's going on? No, it's like they were doing the things with us, John's over here like breaking out his, screwdriver and doing things. I mean, it was amazing. I really felt they were on our side from the beginning, and especially on that hands-on part. People say hands-on, but this is hands-on. Breaking out tools, that's hands-on.
And I also appreciated that they used a professional photographer to show our house, because if you've ever seen the kinds of photos that sometimes appear in these real estate ads, we had the best possible photos. So it made a huge difference.
Yeah. We almost wanted to stay in our house. We're like, that's our house? Like, wow. Yeah, it was insane. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine any of that technology like that, just the angles and it was insane. So, like I said, all that, we just laid back, relaxed, and just enjoy ourselves, right, pretty much. And like she was saying, when she was out of town, that was huge, because it just kept rolling, We actually found this house, and she wasn't even here. It was all online. I was the one that walked in, and I saw everything, and like she said, she did the walkthrough, and so she was like, this is it. She came here, and yeah, she came home, basically. Easy, right?
And our dogs liked them.
That's right, that was part of the testament, huh? This little guy liking milk right away.
Absolutely. I feel like John and Melissa exceeded my expectations, and definitely from that moment I met them at the open house, I felt the reason why I followed through with, hey, can you give me a call? Can we talk about this? Is because I liked them as people and got a good sense of honesty from them. And so, but they brought the sharpness and acuity and all that, along with it. And I just really liked how Melissa, she called me right away, and when I couldn't, schedule the first appointment at that time, I had to reschedule. She was fine with it, but she, was just really friendly and easygoing and easy to work with. Since the beginning.
Yeah, and that to me, that's exactly what I felt with the whole being a couple. I think that really made a difference, honestly. They really teamed up, and there was times where she was calling you, and I was on the side, also, and he was calling me, in a different way. It's more like, yeah, this is what happens, and hey, Mel's really good at this, and like, hey, he's got her. He was assuring me that you were in good hands with her, and it really. Yeah, it made it super easy for me, because honestly, it's emotions run high, and guys usually are the ones that try to keep it balanced. So it helped a lot.
And we think they're going to continue to be very successful here in San Diego.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm excited for them.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see what the future holds.
And another thing too, I was the one that was the most apprehensive, honestly, and at the beginning, it's like, okay, what's going on? But right when I met them, I felt, what you were saying. And obviously, I was thinking, sometimes you think that with age is knowledge, but nowadays with technology and all that, that's not it. because I could see them blowing away so many other agents because of that. It was like, boom, we're done.
I like that they're not complacent. They bring the hustle.
Right. Like I said, Mel looks super sweet, but she can bring it on the negotiations, right? She's on your side, so that's what you want. You want somebody like that on your side to fight for you. That works great.
And this was not an easy sale to make either, both houses. So that's what's really exciting, that we didn't have to, she persisted. She persisted.
Yeah, and again, the couple, that's back when she goes home, who the rock is with her, right? John is there ready.
It was a tight window. It was literally 8 weeks. Yeah. Or no, actually I take it back. It was much less than that. We started July 21st, and it was pretty much around September 1st or so that things were.
And something that crazy stressful, which obviously it is, but it was so minimal, honestly, compared to what could have been and what we thought and all that. And we're extremely happy, And I remember Charlotte telling me like, hey, thank you for facilitating this, having our, dream house. And she's so happy, and the kids are incredibly happy, and couldn't ask for anything else, honestly, right now.
I really think it was meant to be, though. The fact that I ended up at that open house that day and ended up in this house that I really, really love and I'm very excited about living in. Oh yeah, with the pool, that's what really makes me want to get a house with a pool for our children, to enjoy that for the next 8 years. Because we could have stayed in our old house, and maybe there were some advantages of staying there, but they wouldn't have had this amazing backyard and pool.
Yeah, everything is just added.
We just can't wait till the San Diego weather comes back so we can actually use it. Yeah, I always tell all my friends they're crazy if they don't use John and Melissa, that they're rock stars.
Yeah, basically that'd be a joke not to recommend them, honestly, if anything. Because, I can't say enough of it, they're just amazing, and I'm just, I feel truly blessed, that they came into our home, and I would want that blessing to carry on to somebody else, especially people we love,
I would feel like my friends were all in great hands, and I've even had a couple of friends already meet them, and they like what they've, seen, and so.
Yeah, and that's the main thing, honestly, like passing on that, because we know how stressful something like that would be, and you want to help your friends, and that's what we'd be doing. We'd be helping our friends by introducing them to our new friends, So.
And John and Melissa also have a lot of connections in the community with service people, in plumbing and in electricity, and the mortgage business. John and Melissa hooked us up with our loan officer, and he was also equally amazing. Well, I love how caring they are. When I was sick, Melissa sent me a get well card, and they remember our family's kids' birthdays, and that's just really sweet, because I really, if they hadn't been my realtors, if I had met them, under different circumstances, I would have, wanted them to be friends with them, and I really like them a lot on a personal level.
Yeah, that's the thing, honestly, that the friendships, when you make connections, and that's how I felt. And, so in that token too, I really wish them well, I want them to succeed, because I just feel like they really want to help people, I could really tell when they want to sell. That's why they're so good at it, because they love their job and they love to help people. And I could tell, like, when they're in their homes, kind of like when you make a good meal and you want to see that, the kids all happy. That's how I feel, they build this up and they're like, look how happy they are. Because I know when we came in here, they had our, stuff for the pool out for the kids, and the little setup for us as well. So it was basically like, hey, pool party time, we got everything. Let's do it right now. And that was the extra touch too, having champagne for us when we walked in to celebrate for the home, like, all right.
Yeah, it's all those little special touches, that put everything over the top. And I was gonna say something else I forgot.
Well, for me, it's funny, because I don't think a family member would think of all those details. You know what I'm saying? Because even though they love you and all that, but it's also bringing the professionalism, that's the whole key as well. You're like, nice. So the combination of both is really the key.
Yeah, you can tell that they genuinely, what's gratifying for them, and Melissa's even said this, but I can see it, is that joy you get from helping people improve their lives and having a positive impact on people's lives. So,
yeah, and that's the thing too. I know both of us feel the same way, and so it's really easy to, you know, cue in with people like that. Right away we spot them, you know, and that's why we're done. We just pretty much got in the car and they just drove it. You know, we're like, all right, let's go. Drive us to our new home.